Hey everyone, I'm gonna be reviewing some videos by Billie Brandt.
Attention to the ladies out there. Just because he doesn't want you plastered all over the internet with your thong bikinis and nipples out doesn't mean that he's insecure. Insecurity is not men trying to preserve the thing that's supposed to be reserved for them. In fact, it's a very simple request for...
Right, if a girl is out there showing off her body, or if she really tries to look super good when you guys go outside, especially when there's gonna be a lot of guys around, then she's looking for a new guy. That's it. She doesn't respect you. She's not even probably really into you.
Loyalty and respect. You can tell yourself that these photos are just for you all that you want, but if you think you're going to make any man happy by marketing your sexuality to the rest of the world, you are truly delusional. By the way, who's actually insecure? A man who wants you to demonstrate loyalty and is ready to walk away if you don't? Or the woman who needs validation from more men than just the one she's dating? This isn't about slut shaming. This is about helping you view the things...
Yes, it could also be that she's insecure to the point where she always needs validation from other men. Especially, of course, if she gets to the point of sleeping with them, because that's what's in her head gonna give her true validation. That's what she believes. Of course, it's nonsense. Yeah.
Men ask of you through a different lens. I want every woman to be in a happy relationship with beautiful families. And that is why I'm breaking this to you. I don't care what men think of me. Come on, of course you do. No, I'm serious. I don't need anybody's approval other than my own. But what about when you put on makeup? I do it for me. Wait.
I love this one. Are there women out there who really believe? Yeah, actually there are. There have been some in the comments who say that they put on makeup for themselves. They work out for themselves, same as guys will say that they work out for themselves. No, you only put on makeup for guys, or if you're into girls, but for other people. And you only work out for other people. And the best way that you can prove this to yourself, if you're ever doubting it, then you can simply think of whatever you're doing and think if you would be doing it if you were the last human being left on Earth. Would you put on makeup? No, obviously not, because you put on makeup for other people only. And girls want to attract guys, of course, by looking good. And I've never met one guy who actually believes that makeup looks good. Maybe a little bit of makeup to cover up some spots would be understandable, not that guys want it, but the way women use makeup nowadays, it's not attractive whatsoever. You just look completely fake. And same in working out. Would you work out, go to the gym, lift some metal up and down if you were the last human being left on Earth? No, because you're doing it thinking that you will attract other people by having this physique, which you won't, but you're delusional, and that's why you believe that. Whatever the case, it doesn't even matter if it's right or wrong. The point is simply that you do it for other people. If you think of something that you would still be doing if you were the last human being left on Earth, then of course, yeah, you can use it as an example, but you would only be doing what's natural anyway, obviously. You would hunt for food, whether you're the last human being left on Earth or there's a million people, because you need food. Nowadays we go to a supermarket, but the point is that we are, of course, hunters, predators naturally. And if it was possible, you would also, of course, be procreating, not if you're the last one, but if there were still some people left. Everything natural, you will always do. That's the point. It doesn't matter how many people there are on Earth.
So you don't approve of yourself unless you have makeup on? Wait, what? Anyway, what about the Botox you got last week? That's different. It's preventative. Well, what are you preventing? Yourself from not liking yourself? And what about all
it's a good one.
All the time you spend in the gym? I'm just trying to keep myself healthy by doing hip thrusts and squats 4 times a week. Look, at the end of the day, we obviously want to feel good about ourselves, but we can't just keep lying and saying
She even mentions the working out. I'm surprised. Wow.
It's all for yourself. It's completely normal to want to look your best. Embrace it. But if men and women really care about their health and impressing each other, we need to start with a few basic things. Like, how many of you guys just buy the first hand soap you see at the store? Something as simple as your hand soap can disrupt your hormones and overall health. We should all switch to a brand like Jeremy's that
she has these advertisements. The video was good, and I get it. She wants to make money. She has a somewhat popular YouTube channel. Totally, I get it. I wouldn't be promoting any garbage like this myself, but there's only really something that I would promote, which would be a good source of raw meat. That I could understand totally. There's pretty much nothing else that I can think of. Maybe a VPN, maybe. A VPN is always useful. Stuff like that. Not as natural, but you're using a phone or a computer, obviously. But this stuff, it's all of this garbage is harmful.
It's paraben, sulfate, and phthalate free. There's currently a 2-day sale happening on their website, so visit the link in my bio and use code BillieRay for an additional 15% off.
Yeah, but it's also kind of stupid to put this in this video, seeing as you would be using soap for other people also, because you believe that looking clean is somehow attractive. All right. If you have dirt smeared all over you, it's not necessarily unattractive. It's more so that you can't really see somebody's face then properly. Whatever.
I only trust attractive people, and I don't think I'm the only one. I was walking my dog alone
That's called the halo effect. That's what the black pillars call it. It's when you associate positive traits with the looks. If you're good looking, you will believe that somebody is trustworthy, even intelligent, which is pretty much not always, but it's usually going to be the case. Then again, it really depends on how you define intelligence. Nowadays, we have very strange definitions for intelligence.
The other day when I realized I am constantly scanning my surroundings. And as a girl, I am not only scanning for threats, I'm also scanning for protectors. I noticed this overweight, disheveled, unattractive man behind me, so I started scanning for more people. That's when I saw another man walking towards me. Fit, well-dressed, well-groomed, attractive, and instantly felt relief. But why?
Yeah, well-groomed, whatever, but if he's attractive, then that's all that matters.
Why did I feel relief? I mean, their appearance alone didn't mean they were good or bad people. But I know I'm speaking for most women when I say there's an inner female bias we all have, but don't.
It really depends on how you define good or bad. Yeah, that's a tricky topic. In today's religious terms, it would be hard to say who's good and bad. But naturally, if you're attractive, people want to be around you, you're the leader, the women want you, the men want to follow you, then you're a good human being, basically. Which is why you have this halo effect if you're good looking.
Don't want to admit. The truth is, I'm going to see the disheveled man as a more likely threat than the clean-cut man. All else equal, I just inherently trust the attractive one more. Women are biologically programmed.
Yeah, but what does shaving have to do with being attractive?
To seek safety. And if you don't look like you take care of yourself, women are not going to be receptive to your advances. Which is exactly why you should shave regularly with a Jeremy's razor. Seriously.
Another advertisement. It doesn't even make any sense at all. Like, there's no way to connect this to being attractive. It's so stupid. I'm just gonna skip to the next one.
People who use kids are expensive as an excuse as to why they don't have them is some serious cope. I made a video talking about young motherhood recently and received some version of this comment.
That's what I always say. Having children is incredibly cheap. I even had arguments about this in the comments, and people also then in the end came to the conclusion that it's actually cheap, that it's just the media brainwashing people to believe that.
Too many times to count. I mean, I grew up in New Jersey. It seemed like all of our parents had the same backstory of growing up in a Philadelphia row home and sharing one bedroom with 7 siblings. So how is it?
That's how all of my neighbor kids grew up. It wasn't that many kids, but 2, 3, 4 children in 1 or 2 bedrooms. That was very normal. Nobody ever said anything. It just depends on what the norm is. If that's how you grow up, then that's just how it is. Why would you want to have different rooms anyway? In nature, families are always together. It's strange, really, to have your own room.
That today you can't have 1 child. And I know what you're thinking. Who am I, a childless single woman, to tell my followers that having a child is affordable? So I took to X to ask parents, is it actually expensive to have a baby? Here was one of the top responses. Depends on how you parent. Do you need new cars? Do you need 8,000 outfits for your baby? Then perhaps. The way people parent today contributes a lot.
Right. But even then, you can get a lot of free clothes everywhere. People online give it away. if they have children and they don't want children anymore, they just give it away for free. There's also places you can go to. Any friends, relatives, ask them for baby clothes. There's always a way to get free clothes.
This rhetoric. The reality is, claiming kids are expensive is a pathetic excuse. For centuries, people had kids with far less than what we have now, and they made it work. These angry commenters are just trying to justify their selfish choice.
Back in the day, there wasn't even any money, this belief in your head. You just grow up, you eat food, you learn how to hunt, you become a hunter yourself, your parents, your family teaches you, and then you hunt and you have children yourself and provide for your own children and teach them how to hunt. That's it, that's life. That's how it should be.
They've been brainwashed by a society that promotes a childless lifestyle as acceptable, all while chasing luxury and convenience.
Yes. It's crazy that it's acceptable today.
We need to discuss the female Secret Service agents that were assigned to protect former President Donald Trump on Saturday night. I can't stand behind the thousands of tweets calling these women inept and useless. They took a job that quite literally puts another's life before theirs. And for
they are not useless, they are very useful for the government as slaves, and this is not about men or women, it doesn't matter what gender you are. If you take a job in which you risk your own life for somebody else, it doesn't matter who it is, then of course you're doing pretty much the worst job on earth. How can there be a worse job than that, risking your own life for what? Money which doesn't exist? Or some kind of recognition from the president or whoever it is. Usually you're protecting some kind of celebrities, not as a Secret Service agent, but as bodyguards. It's all the same at the end of the day. Maybe calling yourself a Secret Service agent is a bit more fancy, but really it boils down to the same. You're risking your life for somebody who you don't even know most of the time. Yeah, maybe you get to talk to them a bit, but it's not your family members. The only ones that you should be risking your life for naturally, and the only ones you want to risk your life for, are your children. That's it.
For that, we should have respect. On the other hand, I cannot sit here and say that after watching this footage, women are best suited for the job. I want men around me in high-stakes situations. It's not that I don't think women can do the job. I think on an average day, this woman can probably holster a gun much quicker than most of us. I think female pilots can certainly land a plane. And I think a female doctor is more than capable of performing routine surgeries. But during life-or-death situations when emotions are running high, women simply cannot separate their emotions from the job at hand. When I look at this photo, I don't see the failure of a woman. I'm seeing a woman react the way that a woman biologically should be reacting, and all the ways in...
What did she do there? I didn't get it. But yes, of course, she's right that biologically you just react the way you react, the way you're naturally gonna react.
Which feminism has failed her by putting her in that position. No amount of professional training can remove how we are biologically hardwired. The only time when we should see women protecting men is in the beginning and end of life.
Good point. Some of you guys wanted me to review her videos. I thought that her videos are really bad or something, but I don't really see anything bad about it. Of course, she's trying to appeal to men. That's clear. Of course, I get it. There's a lot of acting involved. That's why she's doing these advertisements for products which are aimed at men, of course. Still, overall, she has pretty good points, which I've heard before, and you've probably also heard them before. Still.
Why you should talk about exes on first dates. So this is the title of an advice article in Cosmopolitan magazine. And my question is, why do women give each other this?
That's so dumb. Firstly, ideally, you wouldn't have any exes, seeing as ideally you should have not been together with anybody else. As a man and as a woman, that's how you can create a proper bond with somebody. You straight up right away have children at a natural age instead of sleeping around until your 30s and then deciding to have a family. Usually that's gonna go wrong. And if you then talk about your exes on top of that, then just forget about it. It's bad enough if you don't. It's still in the back of somebody's head sometimes, but If you talk about it, then it's already ruined. Then you're just thinking about your ex. Why else would you talk about them?
Shittiest advice. I had a male friend get up and leave a date the other night because his date started talking about her ex. And I honestly applaud him. I mean, you haven't even
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What the fuck?
kissed her yet. And she's already forcing you to think about her being intimate with someone else. It is the perfect recipe for the ick. Here's why I think women are doing this. First, they're trying to paint themselves as sexually in demand without realizing that they're
Yes, but it's also very disrespectful, and really, I don't think that she's into you much at all. If she's actually talking about her ex, why would she be doing that? It doesn't make any sense. She's maybe trying to portray that she's in demand, as she said, but really it's more so to say he was better than you in whatever way, and I want him back, I miss him. Because otherwise she would only be thinking about you, looking at you. It's just a huge red flag.
sexual desirability is basically a non-factor for men. You're a woman. Men know that other men want to have sex with you, so there's no point in bringing that up. But on a darker level, which we see oftentimes on podcasts and street interviews, women will paint themselves as this skilled sexual being because they know men tend to be weak sexually. And if she draws him in with that, maybe she can make him end up falling in love. Well, ladies, I have over 1 million men following me, and I've heard thousands of these stories from their perspective. Leading with sexuality won't make them fall in love. And if anything, you will lower your value, not elevate it. Let's stop looking at pregnant women in their early 20s like they're teen moms. It seems like as a society, we view young moms as classless, when in reality, it's exact.
In nature, if you would have children in your 20s, you would be seen as a very late mom. It would be abnormal for you to have children at such a late age. Humans nowadays seeing that as a young age to have children just says everything. It means that everything is upside down.
Exactly what we need. It is absolutely bonkers to me that we tell young women they need to go to college in order to be successful, and then encourage many of them to go on to graduate school where they're finishing anywhere from 24 to 26 years old, and then scare them into having kids as quickly as possible because they're running out of time.
Yeah, and how are you going to even do it? You go to college, but then you also need to focus on your career, seeing as you now want to use this man-made paper with symbols on it to get this job, to prove to everybody how good of a slave you are. Of course, you will end up in your mid-30s realizing that you're not so attractive anymore, guys are not that into you, and then maybe you will think of some idea to have children on your own. That's kind of a trend that's going on right now. Yeah, obviously, because you didn't have children at your most attractive age. The whole point of being attractive is to attract a mate to reproduce with. If you're not having children when you're the most attractive, then you're completely wasting your life. If there's anything such as wasting your life, then it's not having children when you're attractive. It's just the very, very purpose of it.
Is any of this a clear message? What woman is going to believe that getting married and having children is the next best move after 24 years of education? She just invested her entire
Yes, of course, almost nobody, because you get severely brainwashed there.
life into developing skills to make her a productive member of the workforce, and we just expect her to say, oh yeah, I think I should throw it all away now.
Yeah, of course, it makes no sense. Of course, that's what I mean. You will just continue working or studying even more and then working. It's almost never ending. Of course, this natural urge to have children may push through because it's very strong. But again, if it's too late, it's going to be tricky. It's not too late, obviously, at the age of 35. It's just that you will already have slept with other guys. You may be damaged, broken in some way, and possibly infertile because of the terrible diets and chemicals around us.
And if she tries to balance having a career with kids, we call her an irresponsible mother. Young women are in a no-win situation. And it's because everyone feeds them mixed messages without ever preparing them.
Yeah, exactly. And if you actually listen to younger women, from what I've seen, all of them say that they want to have a family. It's just that they get pushed into studying and working. But some girl who's really attracted to a guy really just wants to reproduce with him. And the guy would be taking care of her. I've never met a woman that doesn't actually want that. If you truly talk to her, yeah, if you meet somebody on the street and you do a street interview, she will say, oh yeah, I want to study and work. But really, if you will ask her, that guy, your last boyfriend, your first boyfriend that you were together with, if you were really attracted to him, didn't you actually just want to have a family with him and just settle down with him instead of studying and working? They will all say, yes, that would have been a dream life. That's exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to be a mother of a lot of children and be taken care of, and I take care of the children. And they will all give you the same answer if you actually really talk to them.
For the pros and cons of their choices. If you want a more drastic solution, I say separate men and women in education. Stop treating them as equal and start treating them as what they are. Their paths through life are different, and they deserve to be educated and prepared for life differently.
Yes, but I don't think that she understands that there's obviously a reason why the schools educate you to go down this road. It's not as if it's a coincidence that women are taught not to have children.
I know a lot of guys who are very average and they don't have any problem finding women to sleep with or date or anything who's on your level.
But is finding...
I have...
Average is average. Average men will find women who are average or slightly below average. Maybe nowadays it's a bit trickier, but it's possible.
Across platforms, probably over 800,000 followers that are all single men. That's why they follow me for dating advice. And I get thousands of messages every day from attractive guys that cannot get a date.
Total nonsense. She doesn't mean attractive guys, because it already goes against the whole word. If you are attractive, it literally means that you are attracting women to you. Women come up to you, they ask for your number. If they can see you sometime, they are just interested in you because you are attractive. If you're attractive, you cannot have problems getting a date. It's impossible because you're attractive. So she's misusing the word attractive. I get what she means, but still it should be pointed out.
And the messages are fucking sad. Like, it is... Girls are not aware of the crisis out there that men are facing in the dating world. I don't think you guys can... I don't think you can speak on it because you don't know about it. You don't see them. It's way bigger than you could ever imagine. I cry about it when I read the messages.
You mentioned that you have a lot of attractive guys who cannot get a date. Why would you say that is? You can just be honest.
I think the feminism movement has completely beat down men.
Her last point was that the feminism movement has beat down men, which is obviously true. If anything, it more so actually beats down women, but that's a whole different topic. Still, if you're actually attractive, women will come to you, no matter what their so-called values are, morals, and all of that, where they come from, their background. If you're attractive, it's going to be very easy for you to attract women. Whether it's in real life, on some apps, Tinder, it's irrelevant. That's what will happen if you're attractive. What she's really talking about is guys who are maybe slightly above average, maybe. And then they will probably get somebody now and then. But actually attractive guys, come on, they don't have any issues. As I said before, I get that she is trying to appeal to men, to sell them products, to get money out of it, sure, which is a little bit messed up maybe. But overall, her messages are not really that bad. I get why men don't like her doing this, but her promoting having a family, even though she doesn't have a family herself, yeah, and saying that it's not expensive to have children, that women shouldn't be showing off their bodies as much, that they use makeup and work out for themselves. Those are all very valid, good points. I get why some of you guys dislike her. She's fake acting, trying to appeal to men. That's all clear, but if more women would be talking about the topics that she's talking about, in comparison to the way women are today, wouldn't it be better? I would say so. It's not ideal by any means, but it's better. Thanks for watching.